Okay, hi, welcome to the stream. Another day. Okay. Yeah, so just as a to fix my setup. Okay. Just as a reminder, last time we okay. Last time we generated a blog, and we also kind of saw the pipeline working. I mean, technically not the pipeline, but the kind of the concept. So it was mainly just proving that it works. And now we kind of I want to like double think again about the marketing, or like how can we basically take advantage of the generated blogs to maybe increase our visibility online. And because okay, let me also show you. So at the moment, the blog posts themselves are not really getting any attention. So it's basically almost nothing happening. And the idea is that the blogs, I would say they're interesting, and interesting in the sense that they are related to our business. So we're basically aiming for being our own first customer. So the blogs are basically aligned with that, the topics, and so at least the past two blogs that were generated. And also we went through this interview approach, and we saw that, I mean, I also read the blog, and then to be honest, it was, I would call it relatively well written. I mean, not really not well written, but in the interview I gave it insight that okay, this is a question, and for example, the system would ask me, what do you think about that specific situation? Where there are times that you try to do something differently, or in general, why did you even start with this? And so so I answered those, and then it was basically my own insight. And then when I read the blog post, it was also there, so I could also see that basically my insight were kind of added to the blog post, and the end result was kind of aligned with the things that I said, with the question that was being answered. Of course, again, it's related to the business. And in general, I think it's in the right direction, but we also need to apply more filtering and more quality improvement steps, so that will come later. But then let me just 1 second. So yeah, basically the next step, or the step that I want to a little bit maybe focus on, is the Twitter approach, or like the Twitter marketing. I asked Claude to generate me some search queries, and then this is for the search queries that I would search on Twitter, and then see the corresponding related posts. And then the idea is that I go for every post, or most of it that is relevant, I basically just simply like the comments or the post. And then the idea is that, I mean, I also have to mention the reference. I kind of there was this agency, I think they gave me a free meeting, and then they also, that's where I learned it. So basically the idea is that you create an account and then you name it like expertise, for example, in our case, expertise into blog posts, something that when people see, they really instantly realize, what are you doing, what's your business about. And then you go around on Twitter, you like people's posts that is related to blogs, to content generation, to like founders having problem with generating data and so. And then you just simply throw a like there, and then they get a notification that someone liked their comment, and then they see your name, of course, that this account, for example, expertise into blog posts, liked your post, or liked your comment on that post. And then if they're interested, they will come to your profile, and then they see like the pinned message that you shared on your profile, and then they can read it, and then if they're interested, they can DM, or like this would be like kind of like the marketing funnel. Yeah, this was really interesting, and I also kind of want to go into this direction, just to try to maybe attract some customers. I mean, at this point, it's not even really customers. It's mainly, as I also wrote in the tweet, that we're basically looking for 5 small businesses that they are interested in starting their own blog, or like they want to basically generate a blog, but they don't have time, they don't have energy, or whatever. So we kind of are looking for these sort of founders with the small businesses. And then the idea is that try to help them for free and see if the process works. The last stream, we saw that the process would work in action. Basically, the idea is nice. The workflow, I would say, is nice. I mean, we kind of had to do everything manually at this point. There's no automation, but in any case, this is the approach that at least works. It gives a relatively good blog post, and the idea is that find the people who are interested and who want to have their blog section of the website activated. So we kind of offer these free projects, and basically we try to help the founders to see if the method works, if it's really something that they are looking for. So that's a whole idea at the moment. Okay, also let me drop a hi in the chat. Okay. Okay, and let's open this. Yeah, so that's the idea at the moment. That you want to get some pilot projects to see if the workflow, like if the founders are interested, if business owners are interested, and to see if this thing actually works, like people actually would theoretically pay for it. So that's the goal of these free projects that we're having at the moment. And we also, yeah, and then it comes also two aspects. Basically, yeah, it comes two aspects. One of it is to find people who are interested in these free projects. To say, hey, I'm a founder, and basically we have to kind of reach out to them, try to find the customers, or specifically the marketing. And also on the other hand, another thing that I want to try to take advantage of, in a sense, is that we're generating these blog posts here through whatever workflow. We are generating this blog post, which is like a long form content, and usually long form content, it's hard to create and it's hard to sell to people, because now with social media and like this sort of, like, everyone's attention span is like few seconds, so it's hard to actually sell it to people. But then they're really like super advantage of long form content, for example the blog post, for example YouTube videos. The single advantage I would say is that it can be kind of reinvented into multiple short form content. For example, it can generate, I don't know, maybe 10 tweets. You can, for example, if it's from YouTube video, you can break it down into multiple short videos, and it kind of incorporates all of your ideas or of your insights in this blog post, and then you can even paste this into a AI assistant and say, for example, I don't know, break it down to notes or like action points for small businesses or something like this. So it will give you a good starting point for breaking it down into smaller stuff, for example short videos, tweets, like Instagram posts or anything else, to deliver small value that you say, hey, this paragraph I just turn it into one tweet, and we deliver only the value that was mentioned in this paragraph, but you share it on Twitter, let's say, and then people say, okay, this is like your valid idea, and they would be interested to actually read the whole blog post. So for me, it's kind of it has a really good advantage of funneling people's interest and kind of breaking it, like bringing those people attention to your long form content, which probably at the start they would not be interested on. So yeah, they would not be interested in. For example, if they would come to this web page and they start reading, they probably would get bored. But for example, if they saw a tweet before which was pulled from one of these paragraphs and it really resonated with the reader, they would come to this blog post and probably continue reading, because they would kind of expect, okay, reading this would give me more value. I mean, I just saw one tweet message that was really valuable, so this blog post would give me much more value. So I kind of want to move into this direction. So at the moment, the blog posts, okay, maybe I can also write it down. Let me see. Okay, so this was the discussion before. Yeah, okay. So I kind of want to have a to-do list. So first of all, we have to automate blog generation. Yeah, this is one goal, that we reduce the friction. Even now, when we want to generate our blog post, even this one that we created in the previous streams, I still had to convert the markdown to HTML and, for example, query the query Claude to give me, for example, the title, the meta description for search engines and this SEO stuff. So in the end, it was a bit, yeah, there was much friction in it. It was not so smooth. So one goal at the moment, now that we know the process, the workflow works, one goal would be to basically automate it. That's the whole goal. That's the reason we are here. Make things easier. And next, I kind of want to repurpose. I don't know if that's a word, but repurpose the blog posts for marketing on, for example, Twitter. And to do this, I would say maybe we could generate queries based on the blog post. So the idea is that which queries are interesting for people. Yeah, so let me put it this way. Imagine that someone would come and read our blog post and they say, oh wow, this is a really good blog post, I really liked what they said. And I have to kind of come up with the queries that this specific potential user would probably look into on Twitter, or like basically find the queries to find the posts on Twitter that this potential customer is interacting with. So let's say that my my blog post is about small businesses and consistent blog posts. So basically I have to come up with the queries. One query could be, how can I make consistent blog posts? If I search this on Twitter, then there's probably, I don't know, 10, like 5 posts recently that someone mentioned something about this idea. So the people interacting on those posts are the people that would be interested in reading my blog post, and kind of like this organic traffic, basically something that I kind of brought to my webpage without spending on advertisements. Although you can call going on Twitter and finding these posts a bit of work, so they might not be really organic in a sense, but I think this would be might be a good approach to find those posts, to maybe interact with them, to like the comments on those posts. So in general, a good starting point. So if we generate the queries, now we have to just search Twitter and, for example, interact with posts, comments, and in a sense I want to kind of share, automatically try to share the insights that we have filled, we have put into this blog post. I want to share it on social media, and I want it to be targeted. I want it to be specifically related to some user asking something and me answering it. In the hope, I mean, the goal would be, the best outcome would be that they see, okay, this is an interesting comment, this is a interesting tweet, or like respond or whatever, and they would join, or like they would see our blog post, and then they would be interested in, for example, buying the products. So I think this workflow is kind of the pretty, at least at this point, I think this is the mindset of most of the businesses. They want to share something valuable, they want to share their insights, they want to create that brand profile, like their kind of build their audience in a sense. And to do this, there's two ways, of course. You can do it manually, like try to search for everything, try to type response, try to, I don't know, tweet some stuff and so, but this will be really time consuming. And I think as a business owner, if someone, they are having their own business, they probably might have other businesses as well, so the time is like a huge constraint here. So if we can share the insight that was put into the blog post, then there's a chance that we go towards building the audience. So if it's done repeatedly during enough time, probably multiple months, then there's a chance that the audience would grow, and this is what's needed in a business, I would say. Okay. So what I want to do next is basically take our last generated blog post a second. Let's go to so I would ask it to just read the blog and ask some questions. Okay. So this is a blog that we generated last time on the stream. It's basically related to the topic how small businesses can publish consistent blog posts without hiring writers. So the question was picked up automatically. The first draft was done automatically, again with AI. But the part that you are trying to solve the AI slop part, we kind of want to omit and try to avoid creating AI slop. We created this interview approach that based on the first draft, the business owner, in this case us, were asked questions, and we also asked around I think 5 or 6 questions, and then these answers were integrated into the blog post. So this is the blog post that we had, and now I want to try something. Like, give me maybe 10 queries that I can search an X to find posts that might blog posts would be helpful to them, or people who commented there. So basically I want to repurpose the long content that we have. I want to take this as the first, like the baseline, and then try to find people online who my blog post would be helpful to. Okay. Let's look things up. For example, the last one, extract expertise into content. Let us search it on okay. So we search it, and then we also, let me filter it. From, let's say, December. So basically in the past 10 days. Okay, marketing and social media and how to manage communicate. Left, I'm gonna say, is it earned from Okay. This talks about content, of consistency. Okay, what else? Hmm. To be honest, I'm reading the posts and they're kind of yeah, there's not much really impressions. I'm not sure if even looking for impressions is like a right approach. For example, this guy has less than 1,000 followers. When expertise is on your tab, you're able to connect dots, delegate tasks, and find opportunities for coordination. More valuable. Creating the content was the hard part. You already did it. Now it's time to extract every day ounce of value from it. But says LinkedIn posts, 6 posts. Okay, let's move to another search term, because I think I haven't really found I mean, I could, for example, this post here, I could, for example, go ahead and say, yeah, good point, but creating the you know what's trending. Yeah, maybe not this one. I'm thinking whether this is like the right approach, or like what's even the value that we can get here. Because, for example, at least in this very niche, for example, generating content, there's not many posts that are really related, or like in general, there's not many posts that we can reply and, for example, add some value based on our blog post. So yeah, let's hold on to this. Let's move to another one. No, this is super irrelevant. Yeah. Okay, not good. Plugin for small businesses. So one of the queries, not much posts that we could comment on, or add reply. And now next, another query that was basically totally like not irrelevant completely. Okay, so specifically SEO, it has many posts, I would say. For example, SEMrush. So there's so many topics related to SEO. Great, keep going, man. Thank you for your message. I'm not sure if you're still in the stream or not, but yeah, hi, welcome to the stream, and thank you for your message. Yeah, so for example, a topic like SEO, there is so much posts around it. Also even pretty recent, for example, 25 minutes ago. And yeah. And for example, we kind of could find topics or like conversations that we can add some value to, but again, it's really not that much. So for example, after probably my estimation, after maybe 1 week of scraping or like daily checks on Twitter, we might be able to add reply to, I don't know, 5 to 10. I think, to be honest, it's a little bit hard, at least for getting the first customer. I think at the end of the day, it will come to asking a friend, asking someone in your network to basically try to test your workflow and then get feedback based on that. So at the moment we are, for example, trying to comment on people's posts on Twitter. We try to have a free pilot project to just generate blog posts for founders, and these approaches that we are trying, I think they're not really gonna work, at least at this stage, because we're kind of evaluating the framework, or like the workflow for generating the blogs. Almost yes, in general it's like a proof of concept. It's a POC. It's a proof of concept that we on our side, it worked a couple of times to generate a good blog post that it gives value and stuff. And but then trying to bring traffic, like trying to find people, find conversations on Twitter, it's a little bit difficult. And also, I'm not really sure if this is the way that we should go. But let me try Reddit. 1 second. I mean, on Twitter, there's probably not many people really asking. But I think on Reddit, I think this could be a change. Okay, so blogging for sale, a small thing. But the problem with Reddit would be that it's not really up to date, in a sense that you'll probably find some blog posts, some Reddit threads that's from, I don't know, 1 year ago. So maybe it's not really the most dynamic and up-to-date solution. But also on Twitter, which is kind of it's more dynamic and news related, I think we also saw it that it's not that good. So it highly depends on the business. So at the moment, I didn't get a good feeling from Twitter. But let's try Reddit again. The same query, that blogging for sale small businesses. And let's see what we have. Okay, for example, this one. Services like blah blah blah. They seem to be geared towards SEO professionals. It's a more simple service. I can search for where things are lacking in my online presence. Points with simple fix. What's GBD? Sorry, GBP. What's this? Ensure your website and okay, let me search this. Google Business Profile. So I think it's Google Business Profile. Local backlinks, your website. But I think if you want to take this approach, if you want to say that, okay, I will search on Reddit. Okay, first of all, I think we can't really automate this process. I think there would be recently, I think Reddit, they cut off their developers account. Basically, you can't get an API key. At least that was the latest update that I had, maybe a couple of weeks ago. So at the moment, maybe you find some posts, but I'm not really sure that we can really automate the process. But still, there could be value. But also, I think small businesses, usually, at least recently, I got the vibe that, okay, small businesses, they mean they're basically, I don't know, like a small shop. I think that's mainly what the small businesses mean. But I'm also not really sure if those businesses I'm not sure if those businesses actually would care about generating blogs. I think the people that would care about generating blogs are the ones that are selling some service online. So maybe I have to like shift it a little bit. Like at the moment, also on the landing page, we have this. I think we had it. But anyway, I feel like the focus might be on small businesses, but it's also another question, like who is our what do they call it, this ideal customer. So that's also another question that we have to answer. But for now, even for like just searching one query and opening the first post, I think I have much better feeling compared to Twitter. Small business. Oh. It has been done. 90% marketing, 10% product. So I don't know why I just got the idea. I mean, today is the day 12, I guess. Day 12 of the stream, if I'm not mistaken. 12 or 11. And I could also maybe share somewhere the journey. For example, I can add the pull out the topics that I was talking about during each stream, and then I think the journey would also be interesting, to be honest. But anyway, hi Jay, how's it going? Yeah. I mean, it's a bit I have to look a bit more, but for example this one, trying to post blog post. Okay, let me try something quick. Let me copy the post from this guy, and then let's ask Claude. I already pasted my blog post, so it knows the context, the blog post that I also shared on my website. So it knows the context, and I say, based on the blog post, is there a way to help this person who posted on Reddit with their problem? Do not force response if the blog post, if the content is, like, could be reframed to help them. Give me some suggestions to give them based on the blog post. There. Present a blog post, and we could also say, do not make fake hype or guru voice. Authentic and true concepts in the and believe. Leads. Yeah. So basically I want to help this person based on the blog post. I forgot the oops. Come on. Oh yeah. Based on the blog post, can we help this person with their problem? If yes, only if yes, give me answer suggestions based on the blog post and its content and beliefs, and avoid hyped voice. Also my music stopped. Okay. Avoid hyped voice. And group voice. Be humble, authentic blog post, and keep the tone and wording. Okay, let's see. Okay, so starting to see business. Blogging helps with SEO and Google rankings, one of the most effective ways for small businesses to get found. Before diving, what the response? Okay. Before diving deep into SEO courses, here's something I learned. The hardest part isn't usually understanding SEO basics, consistently publishing quality posts when you're already juggling everything else in your business. Let's start with simple concept calendar. Focus on answering real questions rather than perfecting SEO initially. Consider that your expertise is already valuable. The challenge is getting it written down consistently. For SEO basics, yes, YouTube has good free courses, but honestly, consistent helpful content that answers customer question will get you further than perfect SEO knowledge with spread. What's this? Sporadic, holy shit. Carrying irregularly. Okay. About what work for keeping the content consistent without hiring writers. That's helpful. Okay, not game you made this week. Send me the link. Game was good as read the game after your decision. I will decide to pass or not. Oh, what do you mean? Game was good as the game after your decision. I will decide to pass or not. Can you explain a bit more? I didn't understand. Okay, so this is not bad. Also, let me check. D2C company. What's D2C? Holy shit. Direct to consumer. Food items. Okay. Option 2. Okay, so the first one, I would say the language is a little bit off. It's like too hype. Like, it's one of the most effective ways for small businesses. Like, hey, congrats on starting your D2C. I mean, it's a little bit hyped for me. Jay, share your game whenever you're ready. I'm interested. But I didn't understand what did you write. Your last message on chat. Okay, so second option. Starting a blog for your food business is a smart move. So you're on the right track. Again, a bit AI. One thing to consider though, learning SEO is valuable, but bigger challenge most small business owners face isn't SEO knowledge, it's finding time to actually write posts consistently while running everything else. You probably already know tons about your food products, sourcing, health benefits, so your button is usually translating this expertise into actual blog posts week after week. My suggestion, learn SEO basics, but also think early about how you can consistently create content. And you will write every blog post yourself, batch write on weekend, use interview-based approaches. The business that succeeds, the content aren't always the businesses that succeed with content aren't always the ones who know SEO best. They're the ones who figured out a sustainable system for consistent publishing. Okay. Only two options. Okay, and I made the game, rate the game. After seeing it, I will decide on your rating to post or not. Okay. But I would say post anyway. But yeah, share it. I mean, if you put time on it, if you think it's good, then you should actually post it. So I mean, don't think about what I say or like anyone else says. If it's good for you, like if you think that this is good or like relatively good, definitely post it. And also, the thing is, if you post it and if it's not good, it would get lost in the middle of this pile of content or like pile of like everything that's happening in this world. So if it's really good, then you get a positive feedback, and if it's like not good, if it's bad, it just gets lost. Like no one will basically care about it. So you have to post it in any case, I would say. The hardest part isn't usually understanding SEO basics, it's constant publishing quality posts. You already Everything else in your business. Focus on answering customer. Alright. Plugin can help. Before there are any courses, something I learned. Saying so, it's necessarily publishing quality posts when you're already juggling everything else in business. Does that help? Can so the simple content calendar. Based on questions customers actually ask about your food product. Focus on answering your customer question rather than fixing initially. Because their expertise is already valuable. I mean, almost all of these long dashes, I think also it's called M dash. I think it can usually just be replaced with just a simple dot and then capitalization of the next letter. So like, it's already valuable. The challenge is just getting things and getting it written down consistently. So I don't know. For me, it's a bit strange that AI always just paste in these M dashes. For SEO basics, yes, YouTube has good free courses, but honestly, consistent helpful content that answers customers' question will get you further than perfect SEO knowledge with the random posting. Share more about what work to given. Okay, let me just post this. Okay, so this is like, to be honest, really 1 second. Okay, so this is, to be honest, really interesting. We already generated a blog post, which was not AI slop, and we were aiming for no AI slop. So our solution is basically this interview approach, this interview framework that basically asks questions related to the blog. And when you answer it, you're kind of integrating your insights into the blog post. So we generated this on the previous stream, and now I just went around and read it and just looked up some posts related to SEO or more in particular blogging for SEO and small businesses. And I came across this post that he has a D2C company, basically directly to customer, and like they want to sell food, and now they want to start blogs. And they ask if that helps or not. And then I asked Claude here that based on this blog post that we had, generate a response that is actually helpful to this user. And I also read it. It's kind of makes sense. Also, it says things that I personally believe in, because the blog post was generated based on my insights. So my insight is integrated into this blog post, and now when I kind of want to extract information to answer this question, it's really based on what I believe. So I just asked Claude a little bit to make it a bit more humble and sound more like me. And I also like cleared some long dashes and these sort of things. And for me, it seems like a really good response, that it goes on and says you can. The main problem would be the consistency, and you can start with a content calendar, and you can answer real customer questions. And the consistent content and answer the customer question will be much better than just perfect SEO, which is, to my opinion, true. And also for small businesses, because they don't really have a huge traffic. So if they are really directed towards few questions that the potential customers could have, this can be really helpful. So everything is almost automated, or at least I see it that it can be automated. And also I really like the answer, so also just post it on Reddit. Hope the answer would also help the user to get some other ideas, more insights about the problem that they had. Okay, so this was interesting. And I think, okay, so beforehand I tried to look for the same queries on X, on Twitter, and there was not so much posts that I could really relate to with the blog post that we had. But on Reddit, I think it's a little bit different. I found a couple of posts that could be related to the blog post that we had. And also just now I generated a response. Of course, I double checked it, and also I believe everything that it said. I generated a response based on the blog post for this specific user and their questions, and then I posted it here on Reddit. And I think if we continue with this sort of search, probably on the upcoming weeks, I'm pretty sure that I can find similar topics, similar posts, and try to answer it based on the content that we created based on our knowledge base. So this is also, to be honest, really exciting, and this would be the direction that I'm really interested to continue. This would be like the way to present yourself. You create the content, you create a blog, but not really for search engines or for people to really read it. It's like a knowledge base that maybe AI can extract information from. And for example, this was one sample that AI could answer this person's questions based on the knowledge base that they had. And this response here, almost fully automated, automatically generated. And I also believe everything it said, because it was based on my own knowledge base. the blog post that I felt comfortable posting it online, which was also generated automatically with the interview framework approach that we have, which basically integrates our insights into the blog post. So in general, I think this would be like a really good approach to create a blog, not for your SEO, yeah, of course it helps, but mainly for kind of putting yourself out there, helping other people, giving feedback with your insights integrated. And the goal would be to make this process really fast, really automatic. So as a business owner, as someone who doesn't have much time to do this sort of stuff, this doesn't feel like something like a burden. So you kind of feel comfortable with doing it. And I hope that we can kind of automate this whole process. Okay, I got the link, perfect. And finally we sent links in Discord like it should have been all this time. But yeah, much easier than, of course, this protected text. Oof. Okay. So let's see. What have you been cooking? Infinite clicker game. What? Is it just clicking? What is it just clicking? Have you seen this? What was the name? Mr. Coin. I bet you can't reach this level. Did you put an infinite amount, or does it get... One second. It needs 50. And this needs 60. Okay, so for level 6 I have to have 60. So it's probably, to reach that level I have to have times 12 divided by 2. I would have to click 6,000 times probably. And if I can click, let's say 5 times per second, like 3 times per second, this much seconds I need. 34 minutes. So I would theoretically, if everything works, if the difficulty increases linearly, like level 60 it needed level 5 needed 50 clicks, level 6 needed 60 clicks. If level... One second. I also have to multiply it by 10. So I need 345 hours. What the... Yeah, I think I'm not gonna put that much time. But I also wanted to tell you about, but to be honest, as a feedback, just one thing. As a feedback, I really like the UI. Not gonna lie. The combination of green and black, to be honest, was really nice. But have you... I'm not sure if you... Okay, let me... There was this thing. There was this thing, I think, called hamster coin. And I think the idea was that... Yeah, what is hamster? Okay, so the idea was that you just... I hope he shows it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, look at this. It's like people just clicking it, and then it will give them some reward, some coins in game. And I think the idea was that this would be linked to another, like, to a crypto coin, and then the idea was that you can just basically earn money by clicking. So people were going crazy, like everywhere, in subways, in like at home and toilet, and like everywhere, just clicking. And then this was like, in the end they were also saying, yeah, we're gonna release it on that date, it's gonna be awesome, everyone will get $1 for every coin that they have, something like this bullshit. Which in the end, kinda, they said, oops, we kinda won't do all of that. Like, something happened, blah blah blah, and they didn't even release it, or like it. People never got their money, but it was like a super trendy thing. So people were just clicking things, clicking on their phone everywhere. Yeah, I know that you did not copy, but this reminded me of that. And also I was thinking, it's actually really good thing. I mean, thinking of this idea is also really nice, because if you could have just it was like almost a small tweak away from getting this much trend going. So basically your idea is really nice that you came up with it. So yeah, I just wanted to mention it, not to say that you copied it or anything. I just wanted to know that there was also something like this, that people were just spending so much time just clicking. It was crazy. Next game you want to do? Game. If you're developing with JavaScript, you probably can develop this Flappy Bird, I think. What? Yeah, this is the game. I don't like it. But yeah, this is the game that I can't really find the good version. But you get the idea. It's basically a bird that flies, and it kind of yeah, you have to click it so that it jumps, and okay, it's a bit brutal, but yeah, that's the game. And you can also probably implement it with JavaScript. So if you're really interested in trying to like develop something or potentially game, I think this would be a good approach, like good starting point, at least if you want a challenge or something. Yeah, so this is the game actually. So it's like a bird that just, if you don't click, it just simply falls. And then you keep it flowing. Yeah. You can try to implement this game if you're interested. Okay. All right. Okay, so today was basically just trying to figure out some marketing stuff. And I think the idea with the Reddit was nice. I probably will test it again next times. In general, I kind of want something else on top of the blog that you are generating. So I don't want it to be only generating blogs. I want to say you generate blogs so that you can do blah blah blah. Like in this case, you can generate a blog so that you can answer people online, so you can build a knowledge base of your own business. I think that's at the moment maybe the goal that I'm trying to get closer to, or at least shift things in order to, that would be the situation. So that would be kind of my goal. And at the moment we kind of have the pipeline, and we're also trying to, I mean, if you're interested, you can also message me, and we're also doing some free pilot projects just to check our process, if everything works good, if it's actually useful for people, for business owners or like potential founders. So you can message me, and we kind of can give you maybe free blogs, maybe 3 blogs, and in the meantime, of course, you pay attention to your needs, what you need to, what value are you looking for, and also we kind of test our process in the meantime. So in case you are interested and you wanted to start your blogging journey for your business, let me know, simply message me, and then we hopefully find a way to get things going for your business. Okay. Take care, Jay. See you later. See you next week. Also, I appreciate everyone who joined. I also think I will stop the stream at the moment. I'm also not sure really about the timing. I think it's a little bit better streaming during the day. Credits going to Jay. He was the person who mentioned it, and I also tried it this time. I see if I keep doing it or not, but maybe changing to work days, maybe for example other than weekends, maybe that also be something that I might try later, because on Sunday, I don't know, maybe there's like people just watching this YouTube, I don't know if that makes sense. But in any case, thank you, new to your channel. Definitely looking forward to next stream. Thank you so much for your support. I highly appreciate you saying that, and I also will release some videos later, so you might also find those interesting. Thank you for your support. I hope that you already subscribed. In any case, thank you, and happy to have you. Yeah, so we'll see how things go next stream, but I think the direction that you are going, like we're trying to figure out the whole thing at the moment, to be honest. So in general, I will probably continue the same idea, continuing trying to figure things out, and hopefully I will see you next week, probably on Saturday or Sunday, but we'll see. In any case, take care. Thank you for joining. Have a good day. Have a good night. And hopefully see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.